All right, shalom, 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 shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Chakadash, double honors unto my elders and apostles, a great millstone, which are the men that rule well, the men that taught us his truth, peace, blessings, and citations to the elect. All right, just wanted to make this quick exhortation, man. Just, something that I'm learning in this walk, man, through my trials, my tribulations, and my experience. All right, so the title, I might change it. Who knows? Just to make it sound a little more shorter, or just to make it shorter, or make it sound a little bit different or better. But essentially, it's don't mentally drain yourself for your life in Babylon. And I put the quotes on life because the life that you live here is temporary. Your call center job, your warehouse job, your electrician job, your plumber job, your career, right? That stuff is temporary. If you're in this faith, man, you're in this truth. Your true calling is worshiping Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, whatever your lot may be. Everything outside of that, the profession from the profession that you chose, to things of that nature, your life here in Babylon, that stuff is temporary. Your true calling is not to be a plumber, is not to be an electrician, you know what I mean, and things like that. And that's where learning how to balance your life comes in, and realizing that, if that's getting in the way, why, your daily life, your job, if it's getting in the way of the truth, all right, that's when the Lord makes moves on those things, if you let those things get to you, it's a lot, yeah, to burp real quick, but the inspiration of it came from just going through a few things that I'm going through, and I was allowing work to kind of get to me mentally, and then I realized, like, work doesn't matter. Those things don't matter. If you lose your job today, the Lord can give you another job tomorrow. And it's a facade, man. Your boss, your boss right now, he's more than likely destined for destruction if he's not in the truth, right? Or if he's a heathen. So, is him yapping your ear off today really worth stressing about when tomorrow this place won't even exist anymore? That's the thing. America is a giant facade, so don't allow this world to drain you, because at the end of the day, your job and, those daily life things, from the people that live in your apartment complex that are messing with you, you know what I mean, making your life hell. At some point, that's not even it's not gonna matter anymore. And even before the missiles hit, that stuff's not gonna matter. When America is unlivable, when it's in that riotous state and martial law hits, you really think your boss ain't gonna be yapping at you? You're gonna be in a concentration camp. You know what I mean? But nonetheless, we still need the exhortation, and we still need the scriptures to comfort us. The scriptures say that that we have hope through the scriptures, man. All right, for everything that was written aforetime was written for our learning. So this is Hebrews 13:14. For here we have no continuing city, but we seek one to come. Right, and that's the mentality. We need to know that everything here right now is in passing. The job that you have right now is in passing. Certain friends that you may have right now in the world, that are, maybe co-workers that are helping you out, financially, helping you get in different jobs and things like that. I know I've had coworkers like that in passing. Now I don't see them anymore, from years ago. And I've had guys that I was cool with that hooked me up with certain jobs and put me in better positions in life, and I don't even see them anymore. They were just there for that purpose. Don't even talk to them anymore. And it ain't like I cut them off or something. It's just how life went. And what? It was because it was there for that purpose. But what? For here we have no continuing city, but we seek one to come, right? Because we seek the kingdom of heaven. This ain't the end all be all, man. Your boss, bullshitting you. You got team leads fucking with you. That stuff isn't passing, man. Those people, they have no real meaning to their life. Their life is that, That's why they're like that. That's why they make your life a living hell. Because their life ain't nothing but, this bullshit. This is their hope. They're hoping for, the whole no tax on overtime to come through. You know, don't let that shit drain you. Don't let the bullshit. You know, that's one thing I learned too, man. Never let the drama from work, make it to your house, man. Fuck that. It's already stressful enough as it is living in this bullshit ass America, man. Don't let it get to you. You know. 2 Timothy 2:3. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushua Mashiach. No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who hath chosen him to be a soldier. Right? So, your mindset, all right, you're a soldier, and you know that everything here is in passing, man. Everything here has a season. The Lord deals with seasons, man. And soon it's going to be a season where it ain't going to be no waking up and going to work. And, it's just going to be survival. All right? And then knowing that, you should know, hey, don't let today fuck with you, man. The scriptures say that, don't worry for the morrow, because sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof. So don't let this place drain you, man. Don't let your light dim because of this fucking decrepit evil society. Don't even let these Babylonians ruin your day. You know what I'm saying? Because, at the end of the day, man, these people just got demons on them, and they're all a bunch of misfit failure weirdos. All right. Let me see. Salakia. I'm going to read that again in the NLT. All right. Because we're supposed to endure hardness, right? 2 Timothy 2:3 again in the NLT. And endure suffering along with me as a good soldier of Yahushua Mashiach. Soldiers don't get tied up in the affairs of civilian life, right? Your civilian life is your job. Shit, even your woman, your friends, family, right? People that ain't in the truth. That's your civilian life. Yo, man, that stuff you should never let those things mentally drain you. Now, it's going to happen, all right? But you need to, that's where learning detachment comes in, learning how to separate your civilian life from your spiritual, all right? Because we're spiritual soldiers at the end of the day. We ain't out here fighting physical battles, all right? But what? We're in a position right now where, we have to learn how to leave work at work, and go home and be spiritual, all right? We got to learn these things. It says, for they cannot please the officer who enlisted them, right? You can't please Yahushua worrying about this life like that, man. You can't. You can't, you worry too much about, your daily life, worried about pleasing friends and shit. Nah, man, it's about pleasing Yahushua. 1 Corinthians 7:29, but this I say, brethren, the time is short, and it remaineth. It says, the time is short, it remaineth, that both they that have wives be as though they had none, and they that weep as though they wept not, and they that rejoice as though they rejoice not, and they that buy as though they possessed not. And that's very true, man. Essentially having the mentality of, like, you don't have anything. Okay? Because what? Your focus is the ministry. Your focus is pleasing the Lord. Why? For salvation. For example, because it said, those that have wives be as though they had none. Now, does that mean you neglect, what you have? No. All right? It just means that what? You know that the goal is salvation. You cannot put her above your salvation. All right? Because, shoot, we all want our loved ones to be saved. Well, they ain't going to be saved if you ain't doing what you're supposed to be doing. See, if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, the Heavenly Father will have mercy on them. All right? You're doing your job in the ministry, then you'll be all right. But if you don't, because of them, in turn, you're doing yourself a disservice by doing that. Because now you and them not going to be saved. So that's why you have to put certain emotions to the side. Yeah, you're going to catch hell from people in your life because you put the ministry over them at some point. And it's going to happen. See, that's the thing. Before, when you first come in the truth, you think, oh, maybe I could work things out to where, I still make time for them and still make and really make time. Really, my time is to the truth, but I make some time for them, right? And, at first, it does work out like that. But then the Lord has it to where, their emotions get tested, and you have to put the ministry above them to check them to see how they're going to react. And you, right? And you have to roll with the punches. You know, I remember the Elder Ariala made that video, man. We ain't here to be Father of the Year, and it's not. That's very true, man. That's very true. You know, shoot, I can say that from experience. You know, right now, man. That shoot, we ain't Husband of the Year. We definitely ain't Father of the Year, man. You know, but it ain't like we some deadbeats, because we take care of what we're supposed to take care of. But certain that's gonna be certain times where the ministry gonna be put above, you know, your family. Okay. Verse 31, and they that use the world not as abusing it, for the fashion of this world passeth away. Yeah, the way, the manner of life of this lifetime is gonna pass away. You know, you ain't gonna be no plumber in the kingdom of heaven, man. You know, that's not your purpose. Your purpose is to be a servant of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You know, we ain't gonna be working in careers in the kingdom of heaven like here, man. We ain't gonna be looking for high pay. We ain't gonna be trying to get that $40 an hour job in the kingdom of heaven, man. You know, and we ain't striving for foreman in the kingdom of heaven. This shit's all gonna go. You know, this is captivity life. You know. All right, I'm gonna end it with 1 John 2:15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. Right, so you're not supposed to set your affection on things here, man. You're supposed to set your affections on things above. You know, what's your true thoughts? You know, where is your head at? The kingdom of heaven or here? You know, because really, shit, going to bed, man, you should be, you know, I ain't gonna say every time, but you know, your mentality should be, man, I can't wait for the kingdom, man. I'm tired of this shit, man. Hey, I know me personally, I'm tired of being woken up by an alarm clock, man. That shit is hell. It's trash, man. I hate that shit. You know, I'm looking forward to one day not having to set my alarm anymore. You know, I'm hoping for that. I'm hoping for that. I'm hoping, you know, for my, you know, in the kingdom, my circadian rhythm being back to normal. You know? Shit, today I beat my alarm clock. You know, that ain't good, man. This place is terrible. This place is bad for our health. It says, if any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, is not of the Father, but of the world, right? Amen. Our love is set on Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Okay? So it says what? It says that, so if you know you're all about the flesh, you know, lust of the eyes, this place is disgusting, man. You know, the pride of life, that's not of the Father, it's of the world. Because that's all the world has to offer, right? Verse 17, and the world passeth away, and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of the Most High abideth forever. Right, so this world is done for, man. This world is going to pass. All right? And it says, but he that doeth the will of the Most High abideth forever. If we do what the Lord told us to do, we're gonna reach that immortality first go round, man. We won't have to know it after death by pain. And that's what we want. That's the whole goal. The goal is to make it to the kingdom of heaven. On a chariot, not have, you know, being translated, not having to die to see it. You know, besides, you know, obviously the martyrs, you know, there's going to be some believers, there's going to be martyrs. But for the most part, what we're looking forward to not dying on this side, man. We're looking forward to being translated. That's going to be a beautiful thing that not everybody's going to get to experience, man. Shoot, we want to experience that. That's what we're striving for. You know? Because this world's going to pass, man. See, that's the thing. Don't let the affairs of this world get you so hemmed up that you lose your salvation. Hell no, it's not worth it, because this shit's gonna pass anyway. You know? So, hey man, that's all I wanted to bring out of the spirit, man. You know, don't let Babylon drain you, man. Don't let it dim your spirit, man. Fuck that, man. Let your soul glow for real. You know? Thrive. You know, don't let anything here stress you out. Don't let it get to you. Alright? Stay in the spirit, stay blessed, man. All right, but that's all I wanted to bring out to the spirit. I really hope this was exhorting and edifying. I want to say, Kol Halo Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rachakadash, double honors to my elders, double honors to my elders, my apostles, the great millstone, which are the men that rule well and taught us his truth. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the elect as always. Shalom.